Hi, my name is Richard Hutton and welcome to the Exponential Fund, the place where you can learn to invest and absolutely crush average market returns. In a previous video, I talked about how I'm a meta-analyst, as in I don't analyze companies, I analyze other people's analysis of companies. And I can quickly tell, for example in a optimist versus pessimist debate, who's right and make appropriate bets. And I told you that the reason I can do this is I have developed the skill of discernment to see clearly and differentiate what's relevant versus irrelevant. So, I told you about the letting go method, how to remove these biases, these attachments, so you can too see the world more clearly, be more efficient in your decision making. This technique comes from the book called Letting Go by David Hawkins, one of my favorites, and even the author is fantastic. I highly recommend all of his books. The technique goes like this. When people have a negative emotion, they're accustomed to a few ways of dealing with it, none of which solve the root cause. So, what are these methods? One is expression. So, if you're angry, you would shout, you would kick something, you would lash out, whatever. But this fundamentally does not solve the problem. Because, part of the energy of anger is consumed in expression, but the rest of the part just gets repressed. That is the second way. Repression, where you just push aside and bury your emotions because you think it's not appropriate to feel this way at this time. And again, you might end up just feeling numb, just like, you're not happy, you're not sad, you're just demotivated, depressed. It fucking sucks. Another way would be through distractions. So you simply don't think about it and fill your life with something else, like going to movies, playing video games, overeating, whatever, just to drown out the emotion. And in the short term it does work, but again, it does not solve the root cause. Escapism, that's the word. There is another way, which is to let it go. Now, what does that mean practically? Well, let's say you are driving and some fucking schmuck cuts you off. Well, instead of expressing your emotions and shouting and honking and all that, instead of pushing it to the side, you allow yourself to feel the feeling in your body without resisting. That's the trick. So essentially you relax into it. You allow the feeling to be, and that's it. You don't judge it, you don't even give it a name. Stop calling it anger. That's just a label. It is a feeling in your body. And if you don't resist, you allow it to dissolve. And it truly is amazing. In a couple minutes, it'll actually be gone. It'll feel like just a weight is taken off your shoulders. Whoa. And in that point, you now see the world more clearly. Now what happens? The reason you felt anger is not because that fucking schmuck cut you off, but because you have repressed anger. Think about it as you have like a bottle of repressed anger, a certain amount of repressed anger. And if you let it go, it's like you empty part of that bottle, just a little bit. And if every time you get angry, you let it go, you keep emptying the bottle until at some point it is totally empty. So now what will happen? Now, when something will happen that used to make you angry, now it doesn't anymore. is quite tricky. Like I've done this, for example, with sadness specifically. For like 3 years now, I literally cannot feel sadness anymore because I let go all of it. And you can even see the world in a different way regarding this emotion. Why do people get sad? Because they believe they lost something. Right? And it's not that they lost the cat. The problem was they have put their source of happiness in that external thing. So now if that thing is gone, their source of happiness is gone and thus suffering. But when you let go of that, you realize the source of happiness is within you. So of course I'm not happy that the cat is gone. It's not like I wished for it, but it is gone. There's nothing I can do about it. So I can just say, it is what it is. Acceptance. Right? I'll get a new cat. What? It seems kooky, like this is some therapy, but it does actually help a lot in making money. Unknowingly at the time, I mean, I was just doing these exercises to feel happier, feel more at peace. And it turns out it does actually help a lot in investing, because if you were to let go of all of your negative emotions and then go deeper, let go of all of your thoughts and emotions until there's quiet in your mind most of the time, it is fucking phenomenal. You literally see the world totally differently. Like, you realize people are so heavily programmed unconsciously. So much of their reactions is automatic due to past conditioning. It's quite something. So, back at it with the meta-analysis. You let go of an emotion by simply allowing it to be without resisting, so relax into it. And thus, you improve your discernment ability. You can now recognize in others the biases they have. So when you see a debate about a stock, an optimist versus a pessimist, bull versus bear, it is much easier to recognize who's right. You might not be able to do this with every stock, but hey, with at least some stocks. And thus, you cut back significantly on your research time, and thus have more time to enjoy life. So until next time.